Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and I'm really excited to show you this one. It's the newest expansion for the Lost Ruins of Arnak, the Missing Expedition, which adds a solo campaign and also a cooperative mode for that campaign. I'll be playing through the first scenario of the campaign, so some spoiler warnings, and then at the end of the video I'll have my review of the new components and characters that were added. And a disclaimer that I was sent a review copy of this expansion, and they previously sent the core game and the other expansion as well. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos you can't see anywhere else. You can also watch our separate streaming channel for even more content, listen to our weekly podcast, or join the conversation on our Discord. So the new expansion includes a few things. They've got 2 new leaders you can use. You could also use any of the leaders from the previous expansion, although you don't need to buy that one. And if you didn't see that previous coverage, each of them has their own unique set of 4 cards, their own unique board and mechanics. Speaking of mechanics, I am using the mechanic as my character for this scenario. And she's got this machine that she'll be rotating and adding widgets to that will give her access to bonus actions, as long as she can get them to be the right side that she wants them to be. There's also a journalist, who I'm not using in this playthrough, a new double-sided research board to change up how the game plays, and then a ton of cards that are unlocked in the campaign, but that you can also use in various ways in competitive play, but we're not going to be talking about that today. Get out of here, competitive. But the key component here is the campaign books. This is a 6-scenario campaign, although you can play it as one-offs, and each one's going to have unique rules and unique setup, and give you a different thing to go for, and technically that is your main goal, whatever the objective is in each one. You also compare your score to the AI, because you are using the same solo bot from the base game, whether you're playing 1-player or 2-player. You do compare your score at the end, but that's not the most important thing. They make it very clear they just want you to try to win. And there's like secret narrative stuff you read, and you unlock cards. Lots of cool stuff going on. So let's get into the actual narrative intro. Feel free to skip this with timestamps if you just want to get to the gameplay, and then we'll see the game in action. It has been 8 months since you last saw your dear friend, Professor Kutel. You had believed he was simply traveling abroad, but his return is long overdue, and now his family has reported him missing. In these modern times of newspapers and aeroplanes, people do not simply disappear. The administrators at Kutel's University suspect he may be dead, but you believe he found a place beyond the bounds of modern civilization, a lost island in uncharted waters, the fabled land of Arnak. Kutel's obsession with the lost island began long before you met him. At one time, his outlandish theories of a vanished civilization were the subject of lively debate. But Kutel's evidence was scant, and his theories were unprovable. Eventually, his university colleagues convinced him to abandon his crazy theories, stop talking to newspapers, and focus his studies on something more respectable. But in private, he never gave up, and that's why you did not give up on Kutel. After contacting Kutel's family, you gain access to his papers. It does not take you long to puzzle out the direction of his recent Arnak research. Kutel believed he had finally deduced the lost island's location. Now you aim to follow him with a fully equipped expedition. But how to raise funds? His family will help, of course, but the problem is not fully solved until Antoinette, your chief research assistant, informs you that she has secured the remaining funds from a donor who wishes to remain anonymous. You are curious about this donor, but see no reason to pry. You are merely grateful that you can launch your expedition without delay. Professor Kutel may yet be alive somewhere on the lost island of Arnak. After days of searching empty ocean, a faint smudge on the horizon gives you a glimmer of hope. As your ship draws near, it becomes clear you are seeing an island that is not on any of your charts. Scouting around the shoreline, you spy a bright light gleaming among the jungle foliage. The light vanishes a moment later, but you are certain you saw it. A flash of reflected sunlight. Could it have been a signal? You give the order to drop anchor, and soon your boats are transporting people and equipment to a good landing site on the beach. Antoinette, your research assistant, offers to supervise setting up camp so you and your most trusted people can go at once into the jungle. You readily agree. All right, so it's going to give us some special setup stuff, each with little narrative intros, so I'll read the narrative and then kind of explain what's going on with the setup. The crash plane. Only a short distance from shore, you come across a truly distressing sight. A crash plane several months abandoned in this wild and forbidding jungle. The flash you saw was not a signal, but rather a reflection from the plane's broken window. Expedition supplies lie scattered among the wreckage. Of the dear professor, there is no sign. So this is the first special thing in the scenario, and they all have these kind of things. There's like little side quests that you can complete, but don't have to. They're all summarized on this card, and it will change based on player count. This is the solo one. This says, repair the plane. If I activate the crash plane site 4 times, each time removing one of the tokens on it, then the site tile gets removed. I get to unlock the repaired plane card, and I get a little wild thing that will unlock more stuff when I get to the end of the scenario. And the plane's just like chilling right here. But until I've completed that side quest, each time I activate this, I'm going to use the site's power, so I'll get 2 compass tokens or get to buy an item for free, which is pretty awesome. Oh, and another thing to note, unless otherwise indicated in these scenarios, you don't cover up the extra action spaces, which is different than how the solo mode usually works. Our next is Guardians of the Air. Inspecting the wings of the plane, you find the damage most curious. The canvas is ripped as though by giant talons. Professor Kutel often spoke of legendary guardians, fantastically large creatures that could have been tamed or perhaps even created by the lost civilization of Arnak. Could such legends be real? As if in answer to your question, a bird of enormous wingspan soars over the distant mountains and lands on a high, rocky cliff. Okay, now this one is very important because it's my main objective for the scenario, so if I don't get this, I don't win. And you can fail forward, and they have rules for doing that, but we're going to try to succeed. It says, appease the Guardian. I have to reach the Owl Guardian and overcome it. When I do, I'll unlock Professor Kutel's diary. And there's a little additional bonus for going even further. If I climb to the summit by reaching the temple and researching one of these types of tiles, I'll unlock the Owl Idol. But to actually defeat the Owl Guardian, I have to get to this space with one of my research tokens, and then overcome him by discarding 3 tablets. But it's not going to be as easy as that. Look at a path through the jungle. You've espied the creature that may have brought down Kutel's plane, but what became of Kutel? Was he carried to the creature's eyrie, or was he left standing here, staring as the bird flew away? In either case, Kutel's fate is tied to that monstrous bird. You must find a way to its cliff. So this is a very important part of the first scenario. This kind of controls the entire pace of the thing. You've got this fog that is going to prevent you from moving past it. You cannot research above the first spot until this is gone. And the only way to move it is to explore sites. Each time we explore a site, and in this scenario the solo is not going to ever explore sites, then we put a compass on here to show that it's ready to move, and then as a free action, then or later, we can spend 1 foot from a card to move it up, and then suddenly we'll unlock the ability to move up there. We have to move it a whole bunch of times to be able to get to the Owl Guardian. Not going to be easy. I know the story's not done yet. Betrayal. Upon your return from Kutel's crash site, you discover that Antoinette has not been setting up the camp as she promised. In fact, Antoinette has disappeared, along with everyone else who was not in the jungle with you. At least she had the courtesy to leave a note. To our erstwhile expedition members, please be assured that it is not our intent to maroon you here nor to starve you. Captain Smythe is willing to transport both our expeditions, and you will find we have left you ample food. Nor do we wish to hamper your efforts to find Professor Kutel. We simply feel that one expedition, ours, needs to focus on higher priorities. Please accept this ending of our partnership with no ill will. Antoinette. And this is where they clarify. So usually you use the red, tougher tiles from the solo game, not the optional printable purple ones that are even more challenging. But in this one, you take away the one where they would explore a site, because in a way that would help us, since it would let us progress the research faster and get to the owl. And instead you replace it with another item buying one. So the AI is going to buy items a lot more quickly. And that's pretty much it. The only other thing to be aware of is the Soda Pop card, which is Customer of the Year. If we spend 7 money or more on items, we put the items on here. And then if we spend 7 or more, we get to unlock the Soda Pop card to the top of our deck, but also giving us a wild for progression in the campaign later. Oh, and finally, a very cool element. There are always ways to have these encounters. There are 10 per scenario, and you only can see up to 8 per time, although, honestly, in my plays, I've only seen maybe 3 or 4 at a time. But in this case, if we explore these sites, you'll see that we don't get the idols we would normally get, and even in the other sites, you're not going to get an idol bonus. You just get a face-down idol. But if we go here, we get to have a little encounter, and we'll get to make a choice. It's always beneficial, so there's no bad reason for going there. All right, so with all those details out of the way, I'm going to be the first player this round, and the round order actually does change, unlike the regular solo mode where it stays consistent. But at the start of round 1, 3, and 5, as a mechanic, I'm going to get to look at 2 of these gold widgets and pick one. So I get to pick one of these and slot it into my machine. This one is a new icon. It means draw the bottom card of your deck, which could be an item that you just bought. And this one is just to get a compass and a tablet. Both those are really good, but I do see an awesome item I can buy pretty quickly. So I think I'm going to slot them in these spots here. I think I'm going to slot this one here. Maybe discard the other one. Again, I'll get another pair of these in round 3 and round 5. In round 3, I also get my little monkey helper here, who will become a third potentially companion for me. And how the mechanic works is pretty straightforward. She has cards and also her monkey that let her do silver and gold spins of her little machine here. And you pay attention to whatever is on the right side here. If it's a silver spin, you get to pick one of the benefits. If it's a gold spin and there's a gold that lands in the spot after the spin, you get either what's pictured in the gold or both of the silver benefits. All right, but now that we're ready to go, let's place somebody first. And I want to unlock that plane if I can. So I'm going to go here for 1 foot, which will be my fear card here. And I remove one of these tokens, so I have 3 more to unlock the plane. And I can either get 2 compasses or an item for free. And there's 2 really expensive, really good ones. Like the binoculars let me activate any level 1 sight for free. And the horse lets me draw a card and get money and get a compass. I'm going for the horse and putting that on the bottom of my deck, which means I flip a replacement, a parachute. And my plan is going to be to use a gold rotation to get that horse in play at this turn. But that was it for my main action, so we'll pause there for now and see what the solo bot is doing. Their rules are exactly the same. So in this case, they are buying the cheapest victory point item available. In the case of ties, the leftmost, which here means they're going to get this trowel for 1 victory point. And now there's a brush over there. All right, now it's my turn. And first thing I'm going to do as a free action is auto mechanics, which rotates this, and I will resolve the draw the card from the bottom of your deck. That's all a free action. And then as my main action, I guess, I'll play my horse to draw another card, which I know is going to be my fear card, but also get a money and a compass. Okay, then Dastardly Antoinette is going to go to a spot with an arrowhead. And that's just going to be the basic one. All right, on my turn, I think I want to buy something. So it'll get me 3 out of 7 toward the soda pop unlock. I'm going to buy the sea turtle. I love having things that let me keep drawing because then theoretically I can play like all the cards in my hand. It's a double boat or a draw and a single boat, both would seem pretty good when I got to be exploring later. And that'll be the bottom of my deck, which is my entire deck. Okay, meanwhile, they're going to research and get rid of the rightmost assistant from the top spot, which is that guy's gone. Bye. And in this scenario, there are no bonus tokens on research, so they're just kind of climbing up for pure victory points. All right, now as for me, even though it'll be expensive, I really would like to explore my first site this turn. I'm sure I'll get a fear and not be able to defeat the guy, but so it goes. So to that end, I think I'm going to use teamwork, which lets me do a silver rotation, or if I had 3 companions, which means it has to be round 3 or later because I have to have unlocked my monkey, I can trash this to get a 4th pair of the gold things for my little slot there. So I'll rotate, and I'm going to pick one of the compasses because I'm trying to get to 3, and then I'll do that again with marine mechanics. And I'll rotate. Oh, wait, actually, this is not going to work. Yeah, I'm just realizing that all I have left are feet. So hold on a second. Well, whatever. I'll still use it to go there and get a 3rd compass. But then what I'm going to do for my actual main action is spend 2 feet. And this, by the way, would have gotten me right now because I have 1 gold widget of money. If I had 2, round 3 or later, I could get a silver turn. And then if I had 3 or 4, I could get a gold turn. But I'm going to use this as 2 feet. To go here again, I'm going to try to fast track that plane. I know it's a good item. And that'll get me 2 compasses or an item for free. I mean, this one is crazy good, the binoculars. But it doesn't have any draw, so I'm not going to get to use it more than maybe a couple times. Maybe I just get to the things. And yeah, I'm just going to try to unlock more sites faster. The last time I played this, I went way more item heavy. Let's see how this works out. All right, so I'm getting the other 2 compasses. So now we're getting to the point where I might be able to do like double sight next turn, which seems pretty good. And that'll pretty much finish me except for potentially buying an artifact, which would let me move a monster from a site you occupy to an unoccupied basic. Oh, you can move a monster there and then activate that tile. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to buy that. So we'll just say we're passing and finish them up. We don't care about where they place people. We just want to get things that'll get the victory points. Okay, so they are buying an artifact, which gets them that Guardian's Crown. And then they're buying the most expensive item. Or sorry, not most expensive. Highest victory point value, which is this brush for 3. And they're researching again because they're not on a spot to kill or defeat or overcome a Guardian. And they, by the way, don't care about the fog. They don't care about the owl. They just keep on going up and getting basic victory points. Okay, and their last tiles are place, so none of that matters. We are done. So we're going to clear out some items. Bye-bye whip. And advance to round 2. I don't unlock anything for round 2, but for round 3, I'll get another gold widget, and I'll get my little monkey helper. All right, now for round 2, the AI is going to go first, and they're buying the lowest victory point item. Ah, darn, it leftmost, so that is the binoculars. I was thinking about getting those with the airplane sight. Then it comes around to me. Okay, so I did get my sea turtle. It's good. And I can use that to get to a site this turn. I can do a double spin, which will get me to the gold, so I could buy something powerful. Okay, so I'm actually going to go to the repaired plane spot first. And yeah, I need to spend 1 foot, which will be my fear. There's only 1 icon left on it, and I'm going to get another free item. which is the machete, getting me more compasses, which I clearly want, and getting rid of a fear so my deck moves faster. That's going to go to the bottom of my deck, but I am hoping to spin twice and just get it right away. Then Antoinette is... Oh, man. Oh, actually, that's fine. Never mind. I'm glad I went there first. Because she's going here, but I took the cheaper spot already, and I'm not planning to go there another time. All right, so now I think I'm going to go ahead and get my first sight. So I'll play the Sea Turtle for the bottom effect, so I'll draw... And I get to move to a C place with a discount. Oh, nice. I got my horse. Awesome. So I'm going to draw again in a moment. And I could go to any of these. These ones would give me a face-up idol for 3 victory points. And I could, put them on one of my spots to get a bonus. But I'd much rather show you what an encounter looks like. They're more fun. So let's go to the top one here. So you resolve the encounter before or after your sight. So I do get to see what the encounter in the sight looked like. Oh, and I should note I had to spend my 3 out of 5 compasses. Ooh, so I'm going to get even more compasses and a tablet. Okay, and map argument. So this is what an encounter looks like. You hear 2 of Antoinette's companions arguing nearby. If you remain quiet, you can learn something of Antoinette's motives. So you've got an immediate option, and these icons go with like unlocking stuff on the little campaign sheet. Basically, you're going out from the center down different paths, and like the more you get of certain icons, you'll get to these little spots where you get to unlock cards, and they go on the bottom of your deck for the next scenario. So besides like the fun of unlocking a card and reading a little bit of story stuff, you actually are stronger for the next scenario. But let's forget those long-term goals and see. Do I want to be sneaky and listen in? Ooh, I could trash a fear card and get a tablet. Or I can give them directions. This I keep and can do whenever I want once. So I could spend a tablet to activate a level 1 sight. So I would... This is actually pretty good, isn't it? I'm getting a tablet here, so I could give them directions to activate this again. So I'll end up with the same tablet I started with, but with an extra 2 of those. Although I'll get a tablet anyway here, which would give me 2 tablets, so I'd have more tablets. And get rid of a fear, which I do have in my hand. But then again, if I do my little machete trick, I might not need it. Yeah, okay. I'm going to do the left one and listen in and be sneaky. So I get to trash a fear. I've got the one in my play area. And I get a tablet, and I do need to keep this slotted in with the left side showing so I remember which choice I made. And I get to actually, of course, activate my sight. So that's a tablet and 2 compasses. And let's not forget what always happens. Oh, man. Okay, I got a guardian. Although I could defeat him. I've got 2 tablets. I'm pretty sure I have a jeep in my hand. And then that would let me get an arrowhead. Because at some point I do need to actually research to be able to fight the owl. By the way, I do have a compass here to show that when I want, I can spend a foot to advance this up. And then I'll be able to research farther. But yeah, if I defeated that guy to discard a card to get an arrowhead, I definitely have enough compasses I could research once. But I don't have like a consistent way to get arrowheads or gems yet. That's not great. Whatever. Either way, they are buying the high victory point artifact, which is this tiger claw hairpin for 2. Right now, you know what? I was just looking at the artifacts, and this one interests me. Idol of Ara-Anu. Research with a discount of 1 red. So I could just get straight up here. That seems pretty good. And I do have more than 3 compasses. Yeah, okay. So for my turn, I'm going to go ahead and buy this. And I'll move up here, which gets me 1 coin. All right, yay me. Okay, so they're researching again unless they can defeat a guardian, which they can't. So up they go. All right, now what do I want to do? I can try to kill the guardian on my space with my 2 tablets and a jeep. Got auto mechanic or the horse for that, but I'd rather draw a card for the horse, I think. Yeah, I'm going to use the horse for drawing a card, getting a money, getting a compass. And there's my other fear. Oh, if I can play that for something, I can try to get the machete right with the double rotation and get rid of it permanently. All right, but we'll pause that while they go to a spot with coins. Yeah, again, we don't really care about this because we don't have any more people to move or place. But okay, I'm going to, as a free action, use my fear for 1 foot and advance the fog once. So now I could research up there. And then for free actions, I'm going to do that. It's a gold rotation, but essentially the gold is not reaching yet to go there. I can get a coin or a ship. I'm going to get a coin because I don't need the ship right now. I would love to have a truck, but I don't have that. And then I'm going to use the other one to rotate here. And I could get both a truck and a coin because there's a gold there, but I want to get my machete now that my other fear is out there. There we go, machete. So I'm going to get that, and this will be my main action for the turn. I will trash my other fear cards. I currently have 0 fear, which is great, and get 2 more compasses. All right, and they are buying the highest victory point item, which is a steamboat for 3. They're getting pretty lucky with the values. All right, now it's my turn, and I want to kill the guardian so I don't get a fear. So I'm going to spend both my tablets and 2 money as an airplane, like you can always do. And that'll get me our friend right here. Which means I can discard a card to get an arrowhead. I'm pretty sure I'll do that in a second. All right, what are y'all doing? Go into an arrowhead spot. But for me, yeah, okay. I think I'm going to discard Tinkering, which currently would only get me a single coin. Who cares about that? I'll discard that to instead go ahead and get an arrowhead and flip my Guardian over. Now to research again, I need an arrowhead and a tablet. So I don't have that yet, but next turn I can get it. So I think I'm just going to pass for round 2. So I'll just let them go for a while again. Spot, we don't care. Spot, we don't care. They do research and get rid of, let's see, tallest stack. Oh, we need the tiebreaker from the beginning, rightmost. So that guy's gone. I don't know if I'm ever going to get assistance. I'm so worried about just racing up with my magnifying glass. And speaking of racing up, they're definitely pretty high up there. We don't really have to care about whether they're left or right. It's just vertical movement for them. But here we go to round 3, and this is a fun one for us because we get our monkey buddy. He's going to give us a silver rotation. If we ever upgrade him, he'll give us a gold rotation. And speaking of gold widgets, we get to place another one. So this one is get a money and activate a face-up idol. Any of them super good? Draw a card, get a compass, get a fear and an arrowhead. Or get a plane and a tablet. Ooh, and I just drew my idol. I think I'd rather have the plane and the tablet. And then where do I want to put it? I feel like it's probably better to separate them. Yeah, I've got some silvers and some golds. I want to be able to like consistently get the golds to actually activate. All right, so that one's trashed. And it's round 3, so I'm first again. You know what? I want to save my best card, so I'm going to use Teamwork to rotate my silver. I don't have 3 companions yet. And I'm going to use it for a truck, but not a truck. I want to get this unlocked. Okay, and I can buy an item or get 2. I already have pretty good compass production. It's not the most expensive item, but I think I'm going to get this just because it seems pretty solid in this research-heavy scenario. So it's a journal. I'll go to the bottom of my deck, and I can exile this card to research with my book for free once. Okay, then this is removed, which means this goes away, so we can only get 2 compasses like normal from this spot. But the fun thing is we get this at the top of our deck, Repaired Plane. It's a double plane, or return a placed archaeologist figure worker to your board. How ridiculous is that? So yeah, I'm definitely going to draw into that with a sea turtle this turn, because again, when you unlock the cards in the campaign, they go to the top of your deck. Woo! All right, I got big turns going on. How about y'all? Okay, you're getting a jewel. Just a basic spot there. All right, now for me, I want to get the tablet, and then an airplane would let me send my worker back, and I know I'm going to draw in and be able to like place my worker again. So sure, let's go ahead and do this. Marine mechanics. I'll rotate here. I'll get a tablet and an airplane. And with that airplane, I'm going to discover another site. And let's balance things out a bit. I want to do another encounter, but let's go here to a Jeep one. Oh, awesome. The site is going to give me a tablet and an arrowhead. I need those arrowheads to research. Gold! The golden streams of Arnak are no myth. What a discovery. But if you're willing to share it with Antoinette's expedition, you may gain a valuable favor in return. Alright, so keep the gold sounds good, but I think I'm actually going to share the discovery. I get to activate an assistant in the stack for their gold action, and then place him on the bottom of their stack. And I have somebody in mind I want to use that for. So yeah, I'm going to pick the heart icon this time. Okay, then I get the tablet and arrowhead, and our guardian is a warthog boy. I might just use my airplane to fly away from him and not take the fear, because I don't necessarily need to defeat him. Extra jeeps aren't that valuable to me, I don't think. All right, back over here, they're going to a green spot. Oh, no. This time it actually kind of matters. They're going here and locking that up. All right, now I want to do this. It's not marked as a free action, so we need to use our action for it. I'm going to resolve the gold version of one of the people and put it on the bottom of its stack. And you're looking ahead to later research in the machete in my hand. I'm going to pick her, which will give me a fear card in my played area and a jewel. Then she goes to the bottom. Because yeah, the jewel is going to be excellent. I really got a nice stockpile here for research. And the machete will trash the fear card when I play it in a little bit. So that goes under my board, and I got the heart this time. And, I had to check the rules. I thought it sounded a little bit awkward. You actually slide the choices you've made underneath the overview card for the mission, so it's a lot easier to keep track of. All right, that was my main action. They are researching or killing a monster or guardian, and there's no guardian, so they're researching. And they're just cruising on up. And by the way, I do have a compass here, so I can spend a foot to advance it. Not that I need to yet, although I am definitely ready to start advancing these things quite a bit. All right, back to me. Let's machete. Get rid of the fear and get 2 more compasses. There we go. All right, and then they're buying the most victory point valuable item, camera for 2. Oh, I just realized I'm kind of wasting the sea turtle because I'm going to draw a card, but I can't place somebody with a discount because I haven't returned my person with the airplane yet. Well, whatever. We'll still use it to draw into the repaired plane, and that's it for our turn. And they're gonna go to a money spot. All right, now let's go and use the airplane to get a person back. And we'll pull back our friend getting menaced by a warthog over there. And then they're going to the warthog. Yeah, I thought they might. But that's okay, because I think I'm gonna explore again, or find another site. Yeah, let's just keep this going. So that's 3 more, and my worker again. Oh, and that's right. I need. I don't want to get rid of that. I can use. Yes. Okay, I can turn the monkey to rotate that and use a boat. So we're going here because I like these cards. Let's see what happens. Abandoned mine. Antoinette's group seems to have been working in this ancient mine. It would be easy to extract the ore beneath the inscriptions they were studying. Okay, so we can start digging or investigate the inscriptions. Ooh, research with a discount of 2. Oh man, that's like exactly what I'm going to need in a second. Or I can get a ton of money. 2 right now, and then 2 sites would get gold coins, and then when I went to them, I would get those coins. But no, we're going to investigate the inscription too, and that'll be another sneaky style. I would say once I advance that, I have 2 now. I can advance it. Then I'll use that discount to get up there. Oh wait, I forgot to see what the actual thing I get is. Maybe that'll change my mind. Nah. Oh wow, arrowhead and a card draw. Cool. And I got my tinkering card. All right. And the guardian. Oh, 2 coins and an arrowhead. I only have 1 coin right now. Give me a jeep later. All right, and they're researching and ditching that guy since he's the tallest stack. They have now reached the row with the owl, but we're not going to worry about that yet. Now we should be looking at research. Let's go and do this one first. So that's just going to be a tablet and arrowhead. I've got all those things, and that gets me just a compass. All right, and then they're going to go to an arrowhead spot, and then So if I use tinkering to get a money instead of a rotation, just something I could do, that would give me enough money and an arrowhead. Although getting 1 fear card is not a big deal. My machete can get rid of it. Right now I have no fear whatsoever. So I'm kind of thinking I'd rather use that to push this up so I can keep researching. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to use tinkering. There's a free action to get 1 of the moves I'm entitled to. But then before I do that, I want to research this. I'm going to go here with the compass I just got and 1 of my remaining arrowheads. Because I want to get some helpers, right? So I can get some ongoing stuff. And I think she seems great, because clearly I still need more compasses to keep finding sites. And with the hand of time like the present, we'll use her now. And then the AI, they're going to buy the most valuable artifact. They're all the same. So they just get a 1. And then I can still research a bunch. Yeah, okay. Let's play my artifact with a tablet to research with a discount of a jewel and go there. So I get another assistant, although I don't have any tablets left. But for now, let's go ahead and get this lady for compasses or jeeps. And I think I'm going to use her for a compass to make sure I can explore another site next round. All right, and the AI's last one is to buy a cheapish item. They went for some coffee. And then they are passed, but I'm not quite yet, because I'm now going to use the investigation of the inscriptions and my 1 remaining arrowhead to go here and get another compass, which means I'm ready. Yep, I got 3 to examine another site next turn. So again, that gets me 2 masks and 1 heart. And I have the capacity to push this once. Now I need to push it above the owl minimum. So it means I need to find at least 2 more sites in the last 2 rounds, and then research at least 3 more times, plus just find a ton of tablets to fight that guy. But hey, anything is possible. We are pulling back from an undefeated creature, so I am going to get a fear. And we got our assistants back, but it's round 4, so we don't get anything special. We'll unlock another one of these in round 5. Ooh, and this is looking pretty solid. Yeah, I like this a lot. I can exile the journal. I'm going to get some card draw. Maybe I'll draw the 1 fear I have and be able to use the machete. Maybe not. But for now, it doesn't matter because Antoinette is starting the round, going to an arrowhead spot. They prefer farther north, so that'll be that one. All right, that brings it to me. What do I want to grab? Well, I think probably exploring a new site with my sea turtle is the way to go. I don't want to waste this thing this time. So I'm going to draw a card, move with a discount of a boat. I got, my teamwork. I can trash this time to unlock another gold. We'll see how that works out. I'm spending my 3 compasses to go to a boat spot. All right, so it doesn't really matter too much. I'll go to this one. I do get a face down idol, which is just 3 victory points, and I can put it on one of my spots to use a bonus. But I don't get an encounter sadness. I do get an arrowhead and a coin. I need to get more of those stupid, whatchamacallits, tablets. And the Guardian, what's a plane and an arrowhead? I don't even want to get rid of a card, whatever. That's okay, it's okay. They're going to a spot with compasses, which is going to be that one. So it goes. Ooh, now I have an idea. I'm going to play my horse to draw a card, get a coin. Ooh, nice. And get a compass. And then hopefully I don't buy the item I want because I want to get the dog that is in the offer. Let's see. Nope, they are going to a red spot. And then, yeah, for my next action, I'm going to buy the dog. So let me activate an unoccupied tent site. And by the way, that's 6 out of 7 to get the soda pop. And the dog goes on the bottom, but with either of these, I'll be able to pull him into my hand in a second. All right, but first they're going to get the lowest victory point item, which was this lovely goat. All right, now let's put the plan into action. So I'll use, I guess, this one to rotate, draw from the bottom of my pile, get the dog. That was a free action, and I'm going to play the dog to get a compass and activate a site. And I'm going to pick this one. It has to be unoccupied because I'm really more worried about tablets at the moment. All right, cool. There go to a tablet spot. Good thing I got in there. Yep, because that's exactly where they went. Okay, now what do I want to do? I could definitely find another site pretty easily. Also need to be researching, though. I could play this to rotate, or I could exile it to get 2 more gold things. Let's do that. It looks like that's not a free action, but let's see what my options are. Draw a card and a foot. Ooh, drawing a card and a foot sounds perfect because I need to advance the thing to let me explore more. The other option was trashing a fear and a tablet. I do like the tablet, but nah, we'll ignore that. All right, nice. And they're exploring and getting rid of him. Oh, nope, I counted wrong, getting rid of her. All right. Yeah, so now I can rotate this to draw a card and get a foot. Oh, I got my plane. Awesome. But I'm also going to spend the foot to move that up, almost to the owl. All right, Antoinette over here is getting the most valuable artifact. They're all ones, wow. So she gets this trader's coin. More like trader's coin, am I right? You know, because she was a trader. All right. Anyway. Oh, I haven't used my people, so let's go ahead and get a thing with her. And yeah, I think I'm going to explore and then take them back with the plane so they don't get hurt by a monster. So for the exploration, let's use her to get a jeep and spend 3. And we got to have an encounter. Dark cairn. You find an ominous cairn. A fearsome stench emanates from within, and your colleagues are reluctant to search it. You could make them search it anyway. Ooh, yes. We're definitely going to... Oh, return a place person to your board. But no, we're going to do it because I have the machete ready to get rid of a fear. I was going to kind of waste it, so let's definitely do this. Is that a coin, I guess? I haven't done that one yet. So that's resolved immediately. We get a arrowhead, coin, and fear card. And then for the actual site, oops, we get another fear card. I could still change my choice, technically. Whatever, I ain't afraid. We're getting a gem and a compass. And then what's this person? Discard, coin, arrowhead to trash a fear. Oh, okay. I'll have to think about maybe doing that one. All right, meanwhile... Oh, I think they can defeat a monster this time. This Warthog Guardian, so they are not going to advance their research. I'm cool with that. All right, now what am I going to do? I got a lot of stuff I can do. I'm going to use the machete first. So I'll exile one of the fear cards and get 2 more compasses. All right, then they're almost done. They're going to a money spot. Yeah, it's going to be that one. Okay, now I'll use my plane, and I don't really want to discard my journal. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to defeat either of these guardians, but for now, let's take this guy back. And last turn for Antoinette, and an item, the chronometer or chronometer. And now it's just us all the time. So I still got Monkey over here. I'm going to do the boat. Yeah, whatever. I think let's just finish this up, right? Yeah, let's go here. We'll get another idol. And we'll get, oh my gosh, another fear and a draw. Okay. Oh, it's our research for the discount thing. And then discard a card and 2 compasses. That's almost easy to do. But actually what I'm going to do is, I think, yeah, I don't need that yet. I got a decent number of the jewels. So I'm going to use this for its airplane and spend an arrowhead, one of my 2, to defeat this guy, and I'll immediately flip him to get rid of one of the fears I have. All right, and then all I can really do now is some research. I've got this journal. I could exile it. I could also do this and get 2 movement icons, which would take care of this thing advancing, because I don't really think I'm going to have that many just spare feet hanging around. Well, but either way, let's definitely research my main one. I think I want to do the gem, right? Yeah, gem and a tablet. Gets me just a compass. And then, I want to level up my people. All right, I'm going to exile this to research a book for free. So boom, and I get to flip one of my people. Ooh, and use him again immediately. Here's what I'm going to do. Best of both worlds, kind of, right? I'm going to flip her and use her for 2 jeeps, which will boop, move this above the owl. So now to win the scenario in round 5, all I got to do is research twice and then get enough tablets to defeat that guy. Clearly, I want to do other stuff too and get the highest score I can, but that's a start. All right, so I might as well research again. That's my money, another jewel. It's got me almost enough to explore a really good spot. Oh, I forgot about these. I don't really care as much about victory points. So, what if I put an idol on a blue spot, which is how you only get the blue things? That'll rotate gray, get me a money and a compass. I'm gonna get the money, not the boat. And even though I'm pretty worried about running out of tablets and not having enough to defeat the owl, what if we go here, spend these, now let me level somebody else up, and I'll level up him, because all these are about to be gold, so I think gold is good. And then I'm going to use him to draw the bottom card of my deck, which is a fear. Great. But actually, that's fine, because I'll do fear and 2 compasses to defeat the other monsters, so I'm not getting any new fear. What's he say? Foot for an arrowhead? Well, I'll save that for now. And that leaves me out of jewels. The main obstacle I got to overcome, for sure, is going to be getting 5 tablets to fight this guy. Jeez, that's a lot. But I'm hopeful we can make it happen. I'm hopeful. All right, so going into round 5, and you know what? I just realized I played this wrong last time I played this one. You remove the fog once it gets above the birds, so I have an easier path to the temple. Not that I know if I'll get there, but hey, we can hope and dream. But our first big obstacle: 2, 3, 5 tablets to technically win the scenario. But I got a lot of tools available to me. The first thing I want to do is use the dog before the AI has a chance to... Well, I guess they wouldn't lock me out of that site anyway. So yeah, I don't really need to use the dog first. Well, whatever. Let's just do it anyway. I'm going to get... Oh, and let's... I don't want to forget I have this creature to potentially get an arrowhead from. But I'm going to use the dog to get a 5th... but I'm going to use the dog to get a 5th compass and activate a tent. And yeah, not much surprise. I'm going to activate this one. Oh, and actually, wait. I forgot to resolve this. Arrowhead or compass and upgrading. I feel like the arrowhead per free might be better. All right, but now back where we should be, they are researching, which is going to lock them into the best spot. That's okay. All right. Let's go ahead and do the horse and see what I get, just to kind of consider my full options. Oh, sea turtle. Okay, that's nice. So I'll definitely be doing some... Ooh, I can get a 6 sight now. Kind of want to do that. All right, and they're going to a money spot, which is going to be that one. All right, and now tinkering is going to get me a gold rotation. So let's, as a free action, do that. Get a draw and a foot. Do I want the foot? Do I care about a foot? Oh, I can use this with a foot to get a arrowhead. Beautiful. Then I draw into my machete. Okay. But then as another free action, I'm going to rotate this, getting me a tablet and a plane. And for my main action, I'll play the sea turtle to draw again. I'm drawing a lot. And play somebody with a boat to discount. Oh, I got my repaired plane. Heck yeah. So I got a plane from that and a boat. So I can do a double boat with 6. Let's go. So that'll take me to one of these. Do I want to draw another card? I guess draw a card. I got some good cards, right? Oh, yeah, there we go. And I get an encounter. Divided loyalties. A former companion has reached this site before you, but instead of a challenge to your arrival, you receive only an embarrassed apology for Antoinette's betrayal. You could use the situation to your advantage. Ooh, get 2 more. That seems like the one, but let's see. Offer a second chance. Exchange one of your assistants with one available on the supply board. The new one is the same level and refreshed. I guess I could use one right now, but whatever. Let's ask about Antoinette's camp and get 2 more tablets. And that'll get us, another mask. And the more you get of one type, the more likely you are to unlock something. We got 3 of those. And let's see. Ooh. Okay, I'm getting a coin, an arrowhead, an upgrade, and a draw. Coin, arrowhead. I think I don't want to mess with these 5, so I'll upgrade an arrowhead to a jewel. And then, oh my gosh, this is my last card. I gotta buy some more or something. All right, and the Guardian, needs a plane and 2 tablets. That seems like it's probably not going to happen. All right, back to our friends over here. They're buying the highest victory point one. Be this ornate hammer. All right, what can I do here? I guess I could still explore one more site if I want to. I don't really need to, though. I could definitely buy something. Let's spend 2 to get the parrot. They're the only card that's available. It's 2 victory points. Why not? And discard a card to get a jewel if I ever get it. But bigger thing is that gives me enough to unlock the soda pop, which goes to the top of my deck. Exile this card to ready a assistant and get an explorer. But it's also another victory point if I don't ever draw into him. And now, happily, if I do get any draw bonuses, I can actually use them. All right, now what's the enemy doing? Getting to a spot with compasses, which will be that one. All right, now what I really want to do, because I wasn't able to do this the last time I did this mission, is I want to get There it is. Climb to the summit. Reach the temple and research a 6 or an 11 to get the owl idol. How much actually is that, though? 2, 5 tablets and an arrowhead. I've got all of that. Then, oh my gosh, another tablet and a jewel. Jeez. It's a lot of stuff, y'all. You know what I'm actually going to do? Something simple for this turn. I'm going to play the fear just to take my remaining person and get some more tablets because I'm clearly going to need them. And then they are getting an artifact. Pathfinder sandals. Okay, so I can pull one of my workers back. I can get some rotations. I have a lot of movement. I can play the machete to trash my fear. I definitely want to do that at some point. Oh, and actually, I see one artifact I want to get. So let me get these with the machete now. Okay, so I'm going to play that, trash the one fear I had to get 2 compasses, and I'll spend them in a second. First, Antoinette's going to go. Her preference is rightmost. There we go. All right, so I'm going to spend the 2 compasses to get this artifact. Inscribed Blade. Research with a discount of an arrowhead or 2 tablets. Let's see. I think I'd rather... Actually, I'd rather do the arrowhead because I can get a free one with my next rotation of my gold. So I'm going to spend 2 tablets here, but not an arrowhead. And then I'll defeat the person on my next turn. Oh, and what do I get? A card draw, which is the Soda Pop. Okay. So I can exile this to get Compass and Refreshment of People. That sounds pretty good. All right, Antoinette, you got to finish up soon. She's buying the only item, which is a little monkey. 1 victory point. All right, back to me. Let's go and defeat the person before I forget. So it's 3 tablets, leaving me with a decent mix of things. So he can give me a little ride on his wings. Then we get a little narrative section. Let's read this. After days of struggle, you have finally found a path to the monster's eyrie. You lead your expedition up the face of the cliff. As your head rises above the ledge, you come face to face with an owl of enormous size. It does not eat you, not immediately. Making no sudden movements, you climb onto the bird's ledge. Now on your own 2 feet, you still must look up to meet the creature's gaze. Behind those jeweled eyes, you perceive an intelligence. The creature is wary, but not hostile. Is there perhaps a way you could communicate? If only you knew more about these legendary guardians. Kutul would know. But Kutul has been here. In the center of the guardian's nest, you see a notebook that must have come from Kutul's expedition. But did Kutul bring it, or did the bird carry it here, or did it fall from Kutul's lifeless body? To get the answer, you must get that notebook, but how? After your arduous climb, your speed is doubtful, and there's no way you can overpower this monster. Perhaps we would consider a trade. Alright then, since I overcame him, I gain the diary to the top of my deck. Just choose 1, 2, or 3 of these. A card draw, getting rid of a fear, or a compass based on how far I've advanced my book, which currently is 3 times, so I would get 2 of the benefits, but that's top of my deck. Alright, back around to Antoinette. She doesn't have too many actions left. She is going to advance research and trash somebody. That guy. So they get a 6-point tile, leftmost. All right, I just have a lot I can do. But let's use some of my companions. So I'll get a compass, and then a rotation, getting me an arrowhead. And then what the hey, might as well rotate again and get the bottom card of my deck. What was that? I bought something. A parrot. Oh, discard a card to get a jewel. That's pretty good. I don't know what I want to discard. I guess the soda pop, maybe? But for my main action, let's advance my main research again. We'll do the left tracks. We preserve our jewel. And it gets me another compass. All right, last 2 actions for these. Okay, they get an arrowhead spot. Darn, which is one I might have gone to if I used my airplane thing. That's okay. And then sure, let's research again and get to the end. No bonus, though. So now to unlock that last card, I need to do combo of one of these. I can get a jewel from the parrot. I have actually, oh yeah, that's going to be not to be too bad. And the final action for Antoinette, place with the tablet, which is going to be right here. Okay, so they're done. I can just kind of take my time. All right, well, let's go ahead and do my plane. I'm going to pull back this one because I might just go right back there. Oh yeah, because then Soda Pop can be a double boat all by itself. Yeah, so let's use the Soda Pop, or maybe the parrot. Well, let's use the parrot and discard the idol because I don't really want to spend a tablet to get a jewel. Or maybe I do. Whatever. Let's try this. Okay, so I'll spend the parrot to. I'll discard the idol to get a jewel with the parrot, and then I think yes, it gives me everything I need to get a 6, which is going to complete the last quest and get me an owl idol and another progress. This time a feather. Now, the owl idol, even though it is an artifact, goes to the top of my deck. That's okay. I got lots of card draw, don't I? Oh, never mind. I thought I had another rotation of this to draw a card. Oh, okay. I can exile the Soda Pop, so I am losing a victory point. But I get a compass, and I'll unexhaust him. Then I'll re-exhaust him to draw a card and get a foot. I don't think I need the foot for anything, but I'll draw the card, the Owl Idol. And yeah, I can play it with my tablet to get 3 tablets. Okay. And then, oh, that's right. I still have an extra person. Well, I guess here I can use her with that. Actually, you know what? This might be worth more victory point wise. If I cover that. Oh no, never mind. I was gonna do the blue, but I can't do it twice. Yeah, okay. So we'll do this to get double Jeep, but then only use one of them and go here. So I'm getting a fear, but a jewel and a compass. And then I don't think I have any way to kill this guy. Actually, wait, sure I do. I'll draw a card. It is the journal. But instead of using it, I'm going to discard it and pay. Oh, I don't have any money. What am I doing? Yeah, so never mind. I mean, should I? I guess I might as well draw this with the idol, because then I can get rid of a fear, which will make up for the 1 victory point I lost, and also get a compass. Well, actually, hold on. There must be a way for me to get money. Yeah. I think. Okay, here we go. I'm going to spend 2 compasses. To buy and activate this decorated horn, I can exchange one of my assistants with a supply board one, and they are refreshed at the same level. So I'll trade out her and get this lady who will give me 2 coins. All right, and then coin, discard, arrowhead defeats them, and then they can get rid of a fear for me. All right, I think I've almost completed everything I can possibly do. Actually, let's see. I do have enough to get another 6, because I've got 2 tablets, a coin, and a jewel for those. I think that's probably it. I've got a single tablet left. I've got airplane. I think I forgot about that earlier. And I can put this somewhere. But it costs me a minimum 2 victory points. I don't think anything I'm going to do is going to get me more than 2 victory points. So let's just stop there. And now to finish up a scenario, we do calculate our victory points and the AIs. And we keep track of how much we beat them by or how much they beat us by, which will become important at the very end. But generally, you don't care if you won or lost to them. You care more about progressing through the actual objectives, in this case, defeating the owl. So they got 23, plus 6 is 29. 1 defeated guardian is 34. And then 51 with their cards. All right, I'm sure I can beat 51. So I've got 2, 6, 9, 12, 15, 27, plus another 25. Right? 27, 52, so I'm already up by 1. And then 66 total with my cards. So I win by 15. Then you also keep track of which things you accomplish. So I got everything, right? Yeah, I did way better than the last time I played this. Last time I missed a couple and only barely beat the AI. And you can play on a harder difficulty, by the way, if you're finding things too easy. Okay, then finally we're going to mark our things and see if we reach any story moments that also unlock cards for us. So I've got 2 wilds, a feather, 3 masks, a heart, and a coin. And you have to always work outwards from this little center spot. There are spots that have kind of 2 different icons shown. You can use either icon to mark that space off, but if you want to continue with the other type of icon, you still have to start from the beginning. So to explain what I mean, if I did 2 masks, and then if I got a paw, if I put a paw there, I would still have to, if I wanted to do paws, do these 2 paws before I can get to the 15. All right, so let's see. I got 3 masks, right? Ooh, and then I want to go and unlock something so I can show you a fun little moment. So I've got a wild, a heart, and another wild. So that'll take care of the mask, and we'll read 23 in a second. Then also got a feather and a coin. So we'll do the first coin, and we'll do the first. Cool, so let's see what 23 says. Your espionage finally yields fruit. A few careless words from a member of Antoinette's expedition have divulged the location of an ancient astrological device. You have seen similar artifacts across other ancient civilizations, but none quite like this one. What significance did this hold to the people who built it? Perhaps more importantly, why did Antoinette seek this out? Start the next chapter with the stone calendar artifact at the bottom of your deck. So yeah, just for the next scenario, not for the entire campaign, but just for the next scenario, start with this on the bottom. You activate any basic site, and you may pass start next round with 1 additional card. That's pretty awesome. I definitely like that. Yeah, and also just to be clear, even though I unlocked the diary and the owl and the plane and I guess I exiled the soda pop, these do not stay in my deck. There's not permanent upgrading it to your deck. They just get shuffled back into the regular cards. And if you just wanted to take this expansion and play competitively, you can just put them all in. They do have a little airplane icon there to help you take them back out if you want to reset the campaign. So that was the new Missing Expedition expansion for Lost Ruins of Arnak, the first scenario. Let's get into my review of the expansion content and what I think about it so far. So first, let's talk about the new expedition leaders. I liked the first expansion a lot for adding these unique kind of characters you could play. And I think the new ones are both great. I especially like the mechanic. This kind of like slotting in and puzzle of how to like rotate these and get bonuses is really fun. And her cards are very focused on it. So it's definitely a straightforward one. Like I don't find you have to think very hard with her, but she does offer a lot of options. And who doesn't love getting an extra companion? You know, like these assistants are always great. And just having like a little monkey with a wrench is excellent. So she's solid. No complaints there. Definitely fun. And then the journalist is cool too. So he gets randomized, slotted in like little newspaper things right here. And then he gets these little tokens put out. He has some above his board. He has some on sites that are yet to be discovered. And he's very reliant on movement because when he goes to his site, he can get the paper that's there. He can write an article about the place only if he spends another icon matching the site. So a boat or a jeep. And he can only get these with one of his action cards if he spends an extra plane. So he needs a lot of movement. But then these become options for him to slot in kind of like an idol to get the little bonuses. And if he fills an entire row, because he has to go from top to bottom, he gets an extra spot to put his idols on to activate his best abilities, and with no victory point loss, which is crazy. But then also he has to fill in all the slots like in each row. He can fill in farther down and get like really powerful bonuses. So he's pretty cool, like very reliant on movement. I found him a bit more challenging than the mechanic, but I like both these characters. I think they both have cool things. And a nice thing for both of them is that since you get a lot of randomization, like for the mechanic, which gold cogs you get to slot in, and for him, what these little things are, because there's 4 of them, double-sided, so you have 8 kind of different ones to play with. There's some nice variety in playing them game to game, even if you've already played them before. Then you've also got 2 new temples. The waterfall one isn't too complicated. You've got these cataracts that whenever somebody researches, they slide to the other spot, so the cost to advance is going to change. And they also have sights here, and you have to go up here with your magnifying glass. And then you get to pick one and activate it immediately and put it at the bottom of the pile, so that's kind of fun. And a final sort of special element is that you can take a shortcut to race to the temple by discarding an idol. So, if you want to beat somebody there and get the higher bonus, you can give up some victory points. Pretty expensive, but you might want to do it. Then the tree temple also isn't too complicated, but it does have kind of things changed up a bit. You can put idols you've gained when you reach these spaces on them instead of having them to put on your board to get an immediate bonus. Pretty cool. Then you can also find idols when you move your notebook up. And both this one and the waterfall one give you the ability to research the bonus tiles a little bit earlier, which, I'm not sure if you're going to do that too often, but still it's nice to be there. But obviously the big thing we need to talk about is the campaign. And what do I think about it? I think it's great. I like, I'm not the biggest fan of every Euro, especially for solo play, but I love that this one gives you really specific things to go for. The scenarios really change things up. I won't spoil any other ones, but you saw in Chapter 1 that exploring new sites and kind of combining that with research was super important. In Chapter 2, it's a little bit different. In Chapter 3, it's a little bit more different. I like all the little narrative elements. They're short enough that you can skip them, but I think they're well written. They're interesting. But yeah, really like having these goals, having little main quests to do. And especially the side quests. This was in this playthrough the first time that I got all of them for the first chapter, which was pretty neat. But I just love all of this. It gives you more direction. It changes up the feel of the game. Even playing with the mechanic this time, as opposed to like my last one was with the journalist, felt very different. So like the way characters interact with this stuff is going to change from game to game. And honestly, even if you don't do the campaign, I found like this first one I've played 3 times and I found it replayable and interesting and like a cool puzzle each time. It's not like there's one solution. So even if you like come into this not really wanting to like go into the narrative and continuation of the campaign, I think it's still a lot of fun there. And I think this element is cool, giving you something to work for, giving you a reason to do those encounters so you can unlock more stuff and like kind of have a little bonus going into the next scenario. And the encounters, I love them. Just a little injection of narrative, interesting choices. Even if you're not playing the campaign and these matter. You can, by the way, use these in competitive. Basically, there are new site tiles that when you go to them, they let you access events and encounters and make choices with them. So yeah, I think these are great. So it's pretty much a complete slam dunk with me. The one thing I haven't talked about is the 2-player co-op, because it only does 2 players. And basically, you're still playing Lost Ruins of Arnak, for better or worse. The only fully cooperative element they added are these carrier pigeons. You can use them once per round to send somebody a resource, basically. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a nice little cooperative element. But the bigger thing is that you have a tougher time completing all of the quests. Like to get the plane repaired in the chapter I just played, you need to do it 7 times instead of 4. You need to beat both an owl guardian and an eagle guardian, and you get like your own unlock for each one. So I think the two-player co-op allows for good conversations, like who's going to go for what, who's going to explore which site. Oh, leave that spot for me. I need it. And the carrier pigeons give a little bit of like direct cooperation. The goals are going to force you to kind of work together. So I think considering they didn't change the entire game, like this isn't like Orleans where suddenly you're doing like an entirely different mode and you're fighting against enemies invading or anything. I think the co-op works well. I think the solo works well. I think the elements are fun for competitive. Now, Arnak is already one of my favorite Euros, but this is certainly an awesome way to make it even better. And I would say if you were going to go between this or the Expedition Leaders expansion, I personally would go for this one. I like the elements that they added. I like the cooperative options. I think it makes solo way more interesting. I'm just really won over by this one. But thanks for watching, good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.